everybody. How are you? Hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday morning. This is the start of a new science chapter. We're going to be talking about how sound actually travels through the air and into your ears. And it's interesting, but it travels just like water in waves. And let's see how that happens. Think about this. What is she doing? Right? She's knocking on the door, right? She wants someone inside to come answer the door and let her in. Maybe she's coming to ask you to play, right? But she's outside. How can you hear her knocking on the door? Yeah, you hear her because the sound of her knocking actually travels through the door and you hear it on the other side, don't you? So let's watch this little video and hear the sounds that are being made. Ready? So that was two whales talking to each other. I think one of them was the baby and the other was the mommy. And they were talking. But you know what? The sound, have you ever played that game underwater where you talk to a friend and the friend has to try to figure out what you said underwater? Sound underwater gets all muffled and changed because the water changes the shape of how the sound moves. We usually listen to sound that's moving through waves of air. And so we might have some questions about that. Let's look in our science notebook. We're going to find this page. It's marked Lesson 5 at the top, and it's called How Does Sound Travel? Okay, so there were the two whales. There they are in the picture. And just fill that in with any question you hope that we're going to learn about how the sound traveled from the whale who was talking to the other whale who was listening. Fill in any question you want. And then come back and we're going to look at another part. Okay? So pause your video if you need extra time. Okay, so now if you are back, you are ready to look at this. These are bells. Nope, not the Liberty Bell, but they work exactly the same. And when you rock the bells back and forth, a little part inside clangs around in there, right? And each time it bangs onto the sides of the bell, it makes a sound, doesn't it? And then we're going to be talking about this word echo as well. And you know that echo, 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 echo is what happens if you were to make a noise, a loud noise or a scream inside a cave. You might hear your own voice come back to you. That's an echo. So we're going to look at this first part called sound travels. Okay? So a bell chimes. You might not be able to see the person who's ringing the bell, but you can hear it. You could probably even tell by the sound that it is a bell, and you might even know where or what direction the bell is in, right? Because your ear can actually sort of tell where that sound came from. So, remember we said sound travels on waves, right? And we talked earlier about light. Light travels in straight lines. It can go in all different directions as long as it's open and not covered by a case. But it does make straight lines. Well, sound will wave out in circles. Have you ever dropped a stone or a pebble in water and you watch circle waves come out from the spot where the rock plopped in? Yeah, that's exactly how sound travels. It'll go in all directions at one time until it reaches something like your ear or a microphone that collects sound. When this dog barks, it makes all the air around his face vibrate. It's actually shaking the air. And then that barking travels through the air in larger and larger waves until finally the next wave is out here touching your ear. So, the blank from something travels in every direction. The pool, the sound, the air, or the metal. If you said sound, you're right. Sound can travel in all directions. It makes the blank vibrate. What was surrounding this dog that started to vibrate when he barked? Yes, air is all around him, and the air will start to vibrate or move in waves, just like if you dropped a rock into the water, you would see those same circles, wouldn't you? So we're going to take a look back at our workbook, and it's the next page. Actually, we're going to skip this page right here, skip the investigation page, and go to where it says section 1, right there, sound travels. Here's this girl sitting in the middle of this group. Oh, look at that doggy. He's got his ear up. He's going, what? What did you say? Look at his ear. And the cat, of course, is saying, I don't care, because I'm a cat. The girl in the middle of the group is calling something out and show how her voice will get to the people and the animals. How will it get there? Yeah, it's going to get there in circles, isn't it? So you could start by drawing little circles and make those waves, right? Until finally, hopefully you make neater circles than I'm going to make. It's really hard on the computer, right? But your circles will show that the sound is leaving her and it's making bigger and bigger circles until finally it will touch their ears. I see the dog already heard it, right? And now the cat's going to hear it. Okay? That's how the sound is going to travel from her, in big circular waves, because sound travels in all what? Directions. It travels in all directions. Okay, fantastic job, everyone. Next, we're going to take a look at our new and last math chapter. Yeah, we're almost at the end of the book. Got a little video for you.
Hey, let's go on a kitchen adventure. When you look around your kitchen, what shapes do you see? Cubes, cones, cylinders? Let's take a look.
You should see
First,
those.
let's go to the refrigerator. Hey, there are my cheese snacks. What shape are they? They're cubes. They have 6 faces and 8 vertices. I'm getting hungry. I wonder what's for dinner. Soup. And look, it's in the shape of a cylinder. It has 2 faces and no vertices. Now an ice cream cone sounds yummy for dessert. Look, the ice cream container is shaped like a cylinder too. And the ice cream cone is shaped like a cone, with 1 face and 1 vertex. Looking for shapes can be fun and delicious. What shapes can you find?
So I bet you can find lots of shapes if you look around in your kitchen. So today you are going to cut apart your new vocabulary words and keep them in your little red envelope. And you're going to do the Am I Ready page. If you remember, we talked in chapter 9, we talked a lot about vertex and vertices, right? So a vertex is a corner, okay? So these new shapes that we're going to be looking at also have corners. So we will still call them vertices. But these shapes we're looking at have sides, don't they? So these are the sides of 2-dimensional shapes, but these are not flat shapes. You can't cut these out of paper. These are three-dimensional shapes. That means they have space inside the cone to fill up with ice cream, space inside the box to fill up with raisins, space inside the orange that's full of the juicy orange we're going to eat. And these shapes all have names. So you're going to work on the Am I Ready page, and you're going to cut apart your new vocabulary cards. Remember, if you peek at the back of those cards, it's going to help you learn the name on the front. And then you have this fun foldable. We've done lots of these before, okay? So the vertices are the corners, we know that. The faces, I'm going to tell you, faces are flat. See how they both start with F? Faces are the flat parts. So find something in your kitchen that's shaped like a cube and count all the flat sides that you can find, okay? And do that for this one, rectangular prism. That's a butter stick, a cone, and a cylinder like a soup can, okay? And then we'll be done with math for the day, and you'll be ready to have a little break. And you are just in time for this great video, and it's called Community Service for Kids.
And today we will be learning a little bit more about community service. The organization of Caring and Helping in Community Service believes that community service not only helps those receiving, but also those giving.
Yes, it helps those who receive the service, the people you do something nice to help, and it also helps you, the person who's doing the community service. So I know that we are not allowed to do a lot of things these days, but I bet that you could think of a nice thing to do for someone in your neighborhood, or a nice thing to do around the house, in the yard, that is a community service. So watch that short little video, get yourself a snack or some lunch, and come back for our Super Kids lesson. All right, can't wait to see you back in a few minutes.